Hello everyone, this is a very much of an unexpected video that I wasn't really planning to create until I saw some features that made me want to talk about it. Now it's a little bit weird that I made a video about my worried about the game and how it may be lost and how this may be its final year unless they do something to fix themselves. But this PTS update, which I was just going to ignore, I heard some information that made me want to check it out, reinstall PTS and check it. And if this is what they're going to do with this game, this might be some more positive for me. It's not perfect, but it's better than what we got in December. Now, I usually don't do PTS videos, mostly because it's PTS, these are subject to change, and I don't want to give out my opinions and find out that they're not correct anymore, or something of the sort. But I want to get my words out here just because I'm curious about my thought process of where this is going to go. If these are all going to be 100% correct, that'll be fantastic because these should be some good things. But overall, we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen. So the first thing is daily login rewards are returning to the Quake Champions after they removed it last time. And when I heard that it was returning, I was like, well, I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I hope it's fair. And this at least is fair. At least to me, this feels much more better than before. So, just like before, it's a 7-tier thing. Day 1 is a 5,000 experience. Day 2 and 3 are 1 shard. Day 4 is a 3 shard. Day 5 is 25 platinum. Day 6 is 75 platinum. And Day 7 is a free requility. Requility. I'm very bad at using that, trying to pronounce that word, so sorry about that. But this, to me, is a lot better. Because this means if they keep... Now, the other problem is, if they keep the champion's price to 20 shards, I hope to God, but if it is still 20 shards, that means someone can get a champion in a month. Or technically shorter than that, because if they're working on the battle pass, which also has shards again, they could probably get a little bit quicker. But basically, they're able to get a champion using those shards pretty really quickly. One of the biggest complaints I had with the update back in December was that since all the champion unlock free is using the shard system, and the only way you can earn shards is through the weekly challenges and the battle pass, and if you were someone who was going to spend no money, and it seems like the most you can get is like 39 shards, I think I counted, I think it's a little bit more, but somewhere around there, and the fact that if you don't buy the battle pass, you only have access to 2 shards, for the first 3 weeks, and then only have access to 1 shard every week next. But that's if you complete the challenge, and a lot of those challenges are like, do this with Nyx, do this with Visor. And if you're a free player who doesn't have the money or have the shards to buy these characters, then you're even limited even more. So that bothered me, because what developers should always think about, and I understand that free-to-play games, they need to make money, but that's a different topic with abusement, but you still should be fair to the players who don't have the money. You should still be fair to players who are not going to be able to have the money to be able to buy these things instantly. It should be one of those things about time. Like I said, Warframe does a better job with this. It uses your time as a good comparison into what you want to do. So the fact that there was no other way to earn shards besides that, it felt like it strong-armed players into feeling like you had to spend money to buy a champion. So I didn't like that. This is better. This is incredibly better. And I'm very, very happy to have this. And technically what people could do, although I wouldn't recommend it because of the free platinum, but technically what you could do, you could get a champion much quicker, because all you have to do is just do the 4 days, then miss the 5th day, then reset back to 4 days, 5th day, 4 days, 5th day. And so you don't have to do the next 3 days and everything. So you could get your shards a lot quicker to buy a champions a lot quicker. So that's actually pretty cool. So that already is a major improvement in my opinion. The other thing, and this is questionable, I don't know if this is just the PTS, but if this is true, I'm curious if this is going to happen often or if there's going to be other features. So they're bringing back the whole do your daily challenges, get a reward. Back in the old system, it was to get a free backpack. But in this look, it looks like you get a free scare bearer. Now, because I'm on PTS, I have everyone already unlocked, so I can't check to see if that is the case. But it looks like, you know, if you complete these challenges, you get Scarebell for free. And if that's the case, are they going to do some other people in this? Or are they going to have different rewards? Like maybe, oh, this challenge, these 3 challenges you have to do will get you this person or whatever. Or is this just starting, because it is called starting challenges. So it's hard to tell if these are just strictly to, just if you're a new player and not the daily challenges. It's hard to say. But if this gets you a free scare barrel, that's really nice. And I like that. It gives at least some players to get to get access to 2 people. Honestly, I really think they should allow. I think Ranger, Scarebear, and Nyx. I think those are those 3 people. I think should be guaranteed unlocks for players, or at least they should do that if this game is to survive this year and get a better player base. Because, like I said, I'm worried it won't. But if it does, I think those 3 characters should be free to all players who start the game, because that gives them access to a medium, heavy, and a light character, and gives them an understanding about, speed and playstyle. That's entirely speculative. We'll have to wait and see. But, there's that. And so those are some pretty cool stuff. Some minor stuff that they added. You can now, if you have enough shards. Let's say, you have 10 shards and you have enough to do the next 10 progressions on a champion. You can instantly do those 10s without having to do individually one by one, which was annoying. So that's a cool little feature that they did. I like that. They now had the battle pass into its own little tab at the top. That's another thing I should mention is the HUD at the top is a little bit more cleaner. In a lot of ways, the battle pass is up there, the store is up there, challenges, all that stuff. So it's a little bit cleaner in my opinion. That's pretty cool. The battle pass is going to return again, obviously, and I've seen the rewards, and it's going to include 3 new skins for weapons, and 1 is for the starting shotgun, which is called the Flintlock, which they said it's going to relate to, like, at least all the skins are going to relate to the, what was the term they used? Lovecraftian era. Then you have 2 double barrel shotgun skins, which is Ebony and Ivory, which pretty much are the same. Actually, they both look like the same as El Diablo, now as I think about it. But yeah, so the Ebony and Ivory, and they're basically the same, just different color swaps. And then the max skin, if you can reach level 100, which is the same thing as the Gravedigger from the last Battle Pass season, or the one that's currently still going, is the Tesla, which is for the lightning gun. And I like their design. They look really, really cool. I have no idea if I'm going to ever really use them when I have them unlocked, because I'd rather use the original Quake 1 or Quake 2 and Quake 3 skins, because that's what I grew up with. I like those more. But for someone who probably didn't grow up on those, the skins look really cool. So it's definitely worth it. And if this is true, it's hard to say, but it looks like if you have enough shards, you could actually outright buy the skins, even with the battle pass over. Well, at least the Ebony and Ivory, but those 2 seems to be the ones that are purchasable, and the Flintlock and the Tesla seems to be related to the battle pass. That's what it looks like. I haven't thoroughly looked through each and individual one. I actually will probably do a better outlook of shard consumptions between free and paid, like I did last time when the update actually drops. But pretty much it looks like everything is the same. There's just some new shaders, some new icons and stuff like that. But yeah, Battle Pass is going to return, same thing. There's not much else I can add to that. But the one thing that they added I think is really cool. I will admit I have not actually looked through the entirety of this, but there is a tab called Learn. It is the first icon next to the Quake symbol at the far left top screen, and it is basically a text-based guide on how the game works, and this is really, really, really cool. It's hard to say if actual new players are going to actually read this. It also looks like it's still a work in progress because there's a lot of there was a lot of pages that I looked at that weren't there. At least when I first checked it. Although when I'm checking it later today, it looks like they changed it and updated a little bit more. But it basically gives you information on weapons, on game types, on items. They have advanced movements for strafe, rocket, nail, and circle jump. Basics of how to play, the power-ups, the stacks, basic movement. It looks like they're trying their best to try and get people into it. I still think that they should have attached some form of a video with these texts so that people can have a better visual comparison, because it's great to read stuff and it's great to try and understand things better. Especially, I love the weapon section because then you can see the damage numbers and the values, and those are really, really good if you want to get better at this game, at least to me. And but I think they should try to add some videos tied to them, because that would make things a little bit easier for new players to see visuals instead of having to look up a YouTube video in the first place. Like, if you have it in the game, that'll be perfect. But this is definitely very useful for a lot of players who want to try and understand this game a lot better. And then they also cleaned up the menu for when you're playing the game. They now have a tab called Practice, which is against bots. They have TDM, Capture the Flag, Slipgate, and Sacrifice. Quick Play now has 8 modes, and they got rid of the arcade mode entirely, and it looks like Unholy Trinity, Hot Rockets are now a permanent feature, with things like Slipgate and Sacrifice being back into the game after they were kind of gone with CTF's introduction. That's pretty cool. Obviously, ranked with the same 2 modes, custom game. They added a mercy rule to CTF now, with the limit being 8, so like the game will, I think the game just ends if you hit 8 in general, which I think is a good feature because decimations are way too common, because some of the maps are just not balanced, at least in my opinion. And then the final thing I want to bring out is the one that I think is the most important. Clutches change. So they're completely reworking Clutch's active ability. Everything else is staying the same, but his active ability is being changed because a lot of people didn't like it too much, and I definitely understand why. So Clutch's ability normally is when you activate it, you get a frontal shield, and nothing can damage you in front of that shield. So a lot of times people have to go through the shield to try and get up close and personal, or try to shoot you from behind. But it makes you basically invulnerable for like 6-7 seconds or something like that. And a lot of people didn't like that, you know, because all Clutch would do is turn it on and then walk backwards. And since you can airburst backwards too, that's an escape. So the change they're doing is they're making it to where his shield is a 360 all-around shield, and it reduces the damage by like 50%, if I remember the damage model. I don't know if that will be a perfect margin, but we will have to wait and see through the testing, especially for me with playing PTS, because Clutch is one of my other favorite characters besides Ranger. And we'll have to see if this is a good balance for him, if they need to up the percentage, but not being too OP with a shield. But basically, he now it basically is a pseudo protection, because protection is like 67-70% reduced damage. This one's 50, and I feel like they may drop that down to like 35, a little bit more, so it's not too powerful. But that's basically what it does. His lightning drill is going to stay the same. His air bursts are going to stay the same. So pretty much it's still Clutch, except for his shield is now 360, and he now can actually take damage. It just is reduced damage than before. I think this update's fine. I've seen some people in some of the Discords that I'm a part of that don't like this. They think it really is nerfing Clutch. But honestly, I think invulnerability like that is not a good idea. I mean, there's a reason why the invulnerability power-ups from the past games didn't exist here. I mean, there was invulnerability in Quake 2, and then there was protection that technically kind of felt like God mode, but it wasn't God mode. So I get what they're trying to do. Although, if they're going to fix Clutch like this, I still have a personal opinion about Nyx. I don't like the fact that Nyx can go invisible with no prior warning sign to when she could appear. And the fact that she can telefrag you and a bunch of other crap, I'm not a fan of Nyx, so I think they should work on it. But that's a personal opinion than anything like that. But yeah, So that's basically what's in the PTS, and besides, the clutch update, the changing up the menus are pretty nice. The main thing to me is the fact that now you can earn shards without needing to spend money, which means that if players are playing this at least every single week, they can get enough shards to buy a champion they do want, and then they can, collect their platinum to either spend it on the current battle pass or save that for the next battle pass, because you do get like I think 200 or 300 plat through the battle pass if it's going to be the same as last time. And if they just keep that on top of the plat they earned from the weekly, they can either buy the battle pass because they'll retroactively get all the rewards that they've already been earning if they hit like level 50 or 58 or whatever level they're at. They can use it to instantly buy the battle pass and then have access to more platinum and do their weeklies again, and then have enough to buy the next battle pass when it starts up in the next, I think it's like every 3 months or something like that. So, and if the starting challenges, daily challenges, give you sometimes free champions, or at least it gives you something, that is a good start. I like that. This is cool. Is this going to bring back the players? Is this going to cause the community to start growing again? I don't know. I wish it would, but I honestly don't have high hopes, because as much as I love this game, like I said before, I'm also nervous of everything else. So with that, I think that's all I can really talk about with the PTS and stuff like that. We'll have to wait and see when this is officially rolled out in the official game in about like 2-3 weeks or so, I think is when this update will actually drop. So we'll see if Clutch's whole thing will shield percentage stays the same, or if it goes up or go down. I feel like it's going to go down by like 35%. And, we'll wait and see if everything that I think is pretty positive is going to stay that way, because PTS is public test server and is subject to change. But that's all I can really say, and thank you so much for listening. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and take care, and we'll see if this will be a good resurgence in some way. I don't think so, but we'll see. Take care, everyone.